you now today. On Monday, I came in here and I said, all right, y'all get ready. This is musical week. We have had old music, old music. It was older than me. We have had new music. We have had revitalized music. Freddie and Marie got back together after 16 years and they did some music. And today we're going to talk about a brand new group that is going to be performing in Canton, Georgia tomorrow night, in Chattanooga tonight, and somewhere up in Tennessee Sunday night. So this brand new group is part of Barry Scott. And the name of the group is the Beachley and Scott Band. There you go, Lord, I'm glad I can see that.
She needs glasses, y'all.
No, I don't.
I have been trying to tell her she needs some glasses when she's holding papers out like this at work.
The hat was crumpled up, and I'm going to tell y'all something. I told you this week we're going to give away, and you better pay attention to this week. If you've been paying attention, you can be one of the winners. Everything sitting here, the hats, the shirts, the CDs, the DVDs, and some CDs that Barry Scott brought us that has some Dove award-winning music on it. You're going to get some of this stuff and another ETC thermometer. Today is going to be, we're going to clean this desk. This is going to kind of be house cleaning day, so there you go. I have something I've got to do before I forget because it is probably the most important thing we will talk about today. Angela, will you hold that up? Yes, let's get a really, really good close-up of that. I want you to guess who this little boy might be. He is now 30. Angela, how old is he?
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s. Maybe 35, 36. He is now 35, 36. Some of you will recognize the old well curb where he is standing. And many of you will recognize him if you watch television much because you see him on television here on ETC quite often. He is a chef extraordinaire. If you can call me at 866-939-2329 and tell me who is the little boy standing in front of the well curb, you will win a copy of We'll Have a Good Time. Now, I'm going to show you another picture that kind of matches that one. This was taken the same day. And I bet you $10 you can't guess who that is.
Yes, you can.
And it was taken in front of the same well curb, and it was on Mother's Day in 1978. Mother's Day, 1978. A long time ago. There you go. I have known the young man whose picture we showed you many years, actually since he was 4 years old. He is facing the most serious surgery to date. It is going to be basically 4 operations in one where they are truly going to slice, dice, and chop. It is going to be traumatic. It is going to be hard. They're going to have a team of many surgeons. The answer is Hans Ruffert. Yes. The answer is Hans. Who is our winner? Okay, they're on the phone with him right now. Hans is he has faced cancer. He has faced reconstruction of cancer problems. He has faced radiation. This kid has faced it all, and never one time did he lose his smile. Never one time did he lose his positive attitude. Anybody else would have kicked the bucket and said, I'm done, and I mean literally kicked the bucket across the room and screamed and said, I'm so done with this. I'm so tired of this. I'm so given up on this. This kid does not give up. And right now, he is facing something that is very, 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 very serious. We need your prayers, number one. Every single church out there, please put him on your prayer list. If you're on Facebook, put him on a prayer list on Facebook. We have millions of people available to us who can pray for him. He is facing something that is so extreme from where we have been with him. This is the hard one. Sandra Kennedy knew that was Hans Ruffert when he was a young man. I've known him since he was 4. Here he was about 7. He is today facing and fighting the battle of his life. Next Wednesday, they will do major surgery on him. It's not like a little slip and tuck and dice, and it is going to be tough stuff. And he is in the hospital as we speak. He is already hooked up to IVs. He has had a rough night, but I'm going to tell you something. He is not going to give up. He is not the kind of person who throws in the towel. He is not the kind of person who says, I'm done with this.
He's got too much of his daddy in him.
He has too much of his daddy in him. He has made up his mind to continue to fight. And one of the things I'm going to ask you to do, he has fought financially almost all he can fight. He needs some help. If you can send a card with $1 in it, if you can send a card with $5 in it, if you can purchase one of Hans' cookbooks. You know, Mother's Day is coming up again. Birthday season is coming up. Graduation, if a young lady is getting married, there's not a better gift in the world than his cookbook to start your new life with your husband with. It is a great, great gift. If you can do anything to support this kid, from prayers to financial help, you can write him at 44 Chambers Street, Jasper, Georgia, 30103. 30143. Listen to that. Don't know my zip code. 30143.
Only lived there 40 years.
Yeah, he has inspired me to be a better me, because I used to be a whiner. And you know what? I just don't hear this kid whining. He just keeps on keeping on.
He does.
And last night was the time I said, oh gosh, this one is really tough. This one is really tough, guys. He has licked them all, kicked them all, come out of it. He has come out of it smiling. He's come out of it with a little bit of a sassy attitude, which I love. Yes. And that comes from his father, and thank God for his father's sassiness, because it may be what has saved Hans and your prayers. He said, please continue to pray for him. But I'm asking you, write him cards, write him letters, send him $1, send him $5, go eat at the Woodbridge Inn.
Yes.
The kid is facing, you know, he's been out of work now, weeks.
I don't know how he's doing it.
Well, thank goodness he has a great chef at the inn, because if he didn't, they would have had to close the doors.
Right.
They'd have had to lock the doors.
Right.
Number one, someone you trust, and number two, someone who will do as you would do if you were there. And Hans has pretty much had to turn it over to him, and it is going to be okay. But next Wednesday, between now and Wednesday, I say from Ball Ground to Turtletown, let's get on the prayer wagon, and let's get everybody you know. I don't care, from the tiniest churches to people who worship God out under a tree. If you could please say a prayer for Hans Ruffert. He is a very, very special man, and has a very, very special family. And I said, thank God his family has a little bit of his get up and go.
They have
because
the cutest kids.
The cutest kids. But you've got to help me, and you've got to pray for Hans. This is the most serious thing he has ever faced. He is going to be okay, but it is one of those times, you know, they just kept trying to find the problem. They said it was a shoulder. They said it was this. They said it was that. It is just pure, horrible infection invading his body. So they are going to have to literally open him from 4 different places. It's going to be tough. It is going to be the toughest thing he has ever faced. But I don't see this kid giving up. I don't see him giving up. So we encourage you to pray for them, to please have dinner at the Woodbridge Inn. Remember, Thursday night is Blue Jean Cuisine. Go out and take your family. They're open for lunch on Wednesday. They're open for lunch on Sunday. Do what you can to fill the walls of the Woodbridge Inn, because if he's not worried financially, then he can rest more and recover. And he did say, he's so positive, he said, is it okay if I call into the show next week? And I said, oh yeah. Yes. You know, he doesn't give up, and he's not a quitter. So we want you to please pray for this young man. And he is a sweetheart. Now, I'm going to show you something that is this is Angela, hold up each one of these separately. This is Hans Ruffert. This is before the owner of the Woodbridge Inn was Joe Ruffert. This is when Willie Cisnero and his wife Sally owned the Woodbridge Inn. And this is, you gotta go to the other camera. This is me and a young lady who is, we're gonna show her in just a minute, but this is on a Sunday afternoon. We used to be open for lunch and dinner on Sunday afternoon. And you see the old, do they call that tar paper or whatever it is that the Woodbridge Inn used to be covered with?
This is when she used to iron her hair.
I did, I ironed my hair, I did. And,
with an iron.
Yep, show these other two, because this one lady, everybody in Pickens County knows Miss Dee Dee Burgess. And we worked together there on Sundays, and Sundays was a tough, tough day. But
Look, they matched. They're so 70s.
how funny. Yeah, we were. We were 70s, all right. We were 70s, all right. The Woodbridge Inn has been around a long, long time, but nobody took care of it like the Ruffert family did. Willie and Sally lasted a few years. I worked for 4 different owners there, and none of them loved it like the Rufferts do.
Can y'all believe she had that hair at one time? It was
Yeah.
so long.
And it gave me such a headache. And the day I walked in and said, Pam, I want this junk cut off, she said, huh? What? Are you kidding me? So, yay.
I know.
And you know, if you cut your hair today and it's long, send it to Locks of Love.
Yes,
Tori did
my
that.
daughter did that in honor of her grandmother that died of cancer.
Right.
And it was a wonderful thing.
It was, and it's a great way to share. Well, today we're going to be sharing something with you that I think you're going to enjoy. We're going to share some folks who've been around longer than I have. That's all we're going to say. Some of them quite a bit longer than I have, and they have won beauty pageants. They have done things that I've never done.
I know.
Do you know I've never been to a prom? I've never been to a prom. That's sad, isn't
That's
it?
because you left in 10th
I've been to a
grade.
wedding or two, but I've never been to a prom. That's all I'm going to say. But I've never been to a prom. These ladies have a reason to get all dressed up, and they have little titles to go with their effort of all getting dressed up. And we're going to meet them. Miss Hannah's got plenty. She'll loan you one. Miss Hannah loaned us a crown one day.
I know.
Some days I feel like I've been crowned. But we're going to share a little bit of what it is like to reside in a nursing facility that keeps you busy, keeps you active, and keeps you going, and keeps you going toward pageants. Can you imagine? Do you think Miss Hannah might have been involved in a pageant or two?
Yes.
Or 3, or 4,
yes,
or 5,
and
or
one
6?
probably many.
Several.
Yes.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to go to our sponsors. The music today when we opened was compliments of Barry Scott. We talked about this week. We started with old music, new music, today's music, yesterday's music. Southern gospel music is a big part of our Southern heritage. Thank you, Lord. Sweet tea and Southern gospel music. Now, those are two things distinctively Southern.
And grits.
Definitely. And grits. You got that right. But we're going to go to our sponsors. Please continue to support these local businesses who support us. And I have to tell you, Guthrie thought he was going to get open today, but it's going to be Monday down at Deb's. He has worked there for a long, long time. He is going to be taking the reign, and it's going to be just like it was before. Great food, great prices, and great service.
Pumpkin rolls.
Can't wait, can't
Brownies.
wait. And those famous brownies. So there you go. They will be opening on Monday instead of today. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back to visit with some folks who are a little bit older than me, just a tiny bit. We'll be back in just a second. Here we go. Well, you know, 27 years ago today, the lady sitting beside me didn't look quite so pretty. She was sweating, and she was screaming, and she was birthing a baby. We are joined by Tammy Baker, who is Hannah Baker's mom. Hannah Baker Towns, who was birthed 27 years ago today. Now, do you remember that day?
Very much.
Were you screaming a little bit?
No, I didn't scream, but it took me 26 and a half hours to have,
Okay.
so I was in a lot of
Oh,
pain.
my
I bet you
gosh.
were. Now, there's nothing painful about what we're doing today. We're going to honor some ladies who have been crowned. Each one of them has a crown. Now, Tammy, tell me what we're doing and what we're celebrating.
Well, every year we have a local pageant, and we have 3 candidates for queen and 3 candidates for king. But now our queen is the one that gets to go to the state competition. And so these have been past queens. Audrey is 2009, and she got to go to the state competition also. Alice is 2007, and Alice has the honor of being the 2007 Miss Georgia Nursing Home Queen, which is a very, very big honor. And then this year, Sue Davis is 2011, and we're going to go April the 16th to Stone Mountain at the Evergreen Marriott is where they have the pageant at. And when we get there, there are Marines that escort them up on stage.
Wow.
And they have an interview, and they get their photos taken, and there's always a Miss Georgia there. Sometimes she's at one time she was first runner-up to Miss America.
Wow.
And they usually do they do their talent, like they'll sing or play an instrument. And then Paul Osmond has been MC, and that's his favorite thing to do, he says, is be the MC of this. And he's wonderful with the ladies, and so he interviews them on stage. But when we first get there, they are taken into a room, and they won't let me go with them because I can't coach them on their answers.
Right.
But these ladies are vibrant. They have a charismatic. They wouldn't be where they're at if they weren't. And so they ask them questions that's in the scrapbook. We make a scrapbook each year.
I love this scrapbook. This is too cool. And I love these old photos. Those are just amazing.
It tells their life story.
Gorgeous.
That's
gorgeous.
Alice.
Absolutely beautiful. She was drop dead gorgeous. Wow. And active, it shows that she's still doing some quilting, is that right?
She still quilts and sews.
Okay. What else do you do to keep these ladies active?
Well, one of their favorite activities is playing bingo. We play that 3 times a week. We also ride in the parades, the Apple Festival parade. We won 1 year first place in on our float, and last year we won second place for the Apple Parade. We won the 4th of July and then the Apple Parade. Then we do things like garden. We do arts and crafts. We do cooking activities. We have
Hold that up so we can get a close-up of this. We want to get a close-up. The one thing, I would give her the award for an award-winning smile.
She's got a beautiful smile.
She seems very, very happy, and like she's just in her element there. That is too cool.
She's beautiful.
That is too cool. Yeah, very, very, that is just beautiful. Now, tell me, to do this, it's more like fun than job for you, isn't it? You love what you do. Now, was it your idea to enter them in the competitions?
Well, to be an activity director, I happen to be a nurse, but to be an activity director, you don't have to be. There's a class, it's a 6-day class that's required by the state. We have a lot of rules and regulations, you know, because we're highly regulated in a nursing home. And so when I went to that, they had those scrapbooks, and they showed us in that class, and I thought, I would like to do that because that's right up my alley. And so the first year when I started being an activity director, I didn't have time to prepare for it. We had our pageant, but it was too late. You have a deadline to enter. And we always have to send ours overnight express because we wait. It takes us these last minutes.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so, but we have been chosen ever since we've been entering. For the last 6 years, we've been chosen to be in it. And it's always, you know, we have to say, we have to compete. We don't know that we're going to be chosen, and so, but it's a big honor because we compete with people from all over the state, and we compete for media awards and ETC. In fact, I would like to enter this as an ETC program for a media award television program, and then we enter from the Times Courier, and community people that help us. The North Georgia Ladies Auxiliary, one group Volunteer of the Year. I entered them, and they won, and that's a big honor because you're competing with big towns like Atlanta and Valdosta and Macon, and of course all the other smaller towns. So I mean, I think that's really an honor for, and it adds to the quality for our nursing home because when you have all these activities going on in a nursing home, that is the main thing, is the quality of life for the residents, and they've come there to live, and so that's what we want to make them just as happy as possible. We had Elvis Presley come and see them, and they loved Elvis Presley. We have the Easter Bunny. Santa Claus comes every year, and we have groups that help us buy presents, like the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and Walmart puts up a tree, and people take their name off the tree and buy presents. And then our ladies here and our other residents, we collaborate with the Lions Club and do an Easter egg hunt with the Rotary and the Interact Club, and they buy presents, and then we wrap the presents for the foster children, and then we have a Halloween party, and we have a Halloween contest where the residents dress up and paint pumpkins, and so in a family contest, who's got the best family dressed at our parties, and we're going to have a cowboy come and sing tonight, so we're going to have a barbecue dinner with a cowboy Dan that sings like the old country, like Tumble and Tumbleweed. So we try to have lots of fun activities.
Okay, introduce the ladies and tell us a little bit about them, and then can we talk to each one of them a little bit?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Yes. This is Audry Davidson. She's 2009, and she also competed in the Miss Georgia Nursing Home, and she did really, really well. She's beautiful, and Audry can play a piano and sing, and she still plays the piano lots of times for the churches when they come in. She's just, and got a really sweet, all these ladies are devout Christians too, I'll have to say that. They're very godly women. And then Sue Davis is our reigning queen, and she's going to state in April the 16th, and I think she's going to do very well. She's got a really sweet personality. Sue had when she was a baby, she was in a bad accident, and she said that it crushed her brain against her skull, and they told her, the doctors, that she would never walk or talk. And then when the doctor wanted to see her again, her dad took her in, and she made a sound, and it took her till she was 2 years old to walk and to talk.
Wow.
But see, she said, the doctor told her, he said, don't give no credit to anyone, not the nurses, the doctors, but to God. So she's a remarkable lady. And then Alice Johnson is 2007 Miss Georgia Nursing Home, and also Miss Gilmer Nursing Home. Now Alice she loves to sew, she loves crafts and cook, she cans, and Alice, when she went on stage down there, she had bought herself a pink corsage and nobody else, and then after that everyone started copying her and wearing corsages on stage. But when she went on stage, they went, oh, she's so beautiful. You could hear people, and it's a big audience that's there. And so Alice has got a sweet, sweet spirit, and she has a lot of good memories. Alice is, do you mind to tell how old you are? She's 96-year-old. She'll be 96
Oh
soon.
my goodness.
Well, won't you, Alice, be 96?
96 is today.
Today's your birthday?
Not today, but it will be.
So she always has herself a birthday party every year.
Oh, wow.
Life old age.
Oh, wow. Now, how's Miss Sue?
I'll be 93 in July.
93. Wow.
Y'all look great
Wow.
for
They do,
your
don't
age.
they?
Wow.
I hope
And
I
you know
look
what
that
I love?
good.
Tammy,
The
did you
Lord
do their
takes care of me.
makeup?
We did,
And their makeup is beautiful.
Diane helped me, and Kathy helped me get them ready this morning. And
I
Sue,
hope I
how
look
old
that
are you? Do you
good.
mind to tell?
No, I'm 71. If I live through till December, I'll be 72.
Okay.
She's the baby of the group.
Yeah, you're the baby. Okay. Ladies, what's it like to have somebody who cares about you and keeps you busy? Can you tell me a little bit about
Well,
what Miss
it's
Tammy
great.
does?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful person.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Sue?
Oh, it's wonderful. I have never had anybody that would seem like cared so much and wanted to do so much for you.
Now, who chose your clothes today? Because y'all have on my 3 favorite colors. I love red. That's just like love red. Black. I'm a black girl every day almost. And that royal blue, my favorite pictures are always in royal blue. Who chose your clothes?
My daughter bought this a year or two ago, and I've outgrown it kind of.
Uh-oh. Okay. And where did you get your dress? It's beautiful.
This is my daughter's dress. She got it for me.
Okay. All right. Where'd your dress come from?
I'm sorry, I'm hard to hear.
Okay. Where's your dress? Where did you get your dress? It's beautiful.
My dress, Tammy was kind enough to find it for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's good at everything.
Well, ladies, I hope we get to come and visit with y'all again, and maybe you'll get to come and visit with us. Now, when you go to state, do you expect to win?
I hope I do.
I hope you do too. I hope you do too. Keep a positive attitude,
Yes,
and when you
ma'am.
walk in, know that you're a winner.
So
Yes.
if you win that, do you get a big, big crown?
Oh.
They get a crown and a bouquet of roses and a banner and the title for a year, and there's several events that they go and speak at. And then, of course, our queens are always featured in our parades and everything. They're our special. And I have another queen, Virginia Brewer, last year's, and she got 4th runner-up. And she wasn't feeling well, so she didn't get to come today. So this is the most queens I've had at one time all together. And so, a few weeks ago, they put all their pictures in the paper when we had our local pageant. We always have a different theme every year. So this year it was Walk Like an Egyptian. So we were dressed up like Egyptians.
Oh, how funny. Now,
I
Tammy,
love your crowns. They're so beautiful.
they're beautiful. What can people do to help the nursing home? Do you need volunteers occasionally?
We do. And when the volunteers come in, this is something we have to do. We have to do a background check on them, and they have to have a PPD, which checks to see if they have tuberculosis, because it's that's so contagious, and so all the staff are done that way too every year, and their
Right.
residents are checked. And then a drug screen test, and that's what they have to do, and be willing to come. And we have volunteers that come in and play bingo with them, that help us with gardening. I have to say the little Girl Scouts help me a lot. They've been doing a lot of things. They'll fill up my bird feeders for me. They help me do crafts with the residents and cooking activities, and they help me with the pageant. They helped hand out the crowns but we can always use. We have one lady that comes in and paints fingernails for them each
I was
week.
looking. I love her nails.
She
Gorgeous.
painted all their nails for them yesterday. Deborah
Beautiful.
Schuessler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My nails are a little short now.
They look gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful.
I cut them the other day. So.
Well, Tammy, do you think when we take a break, we're going to go to the community calendar, that we could maybe set her up and let her play a song for us? Do you think we might do that?
I'd play.
Yeah, she
Okay,
can.
well, we're going to do that. We're going to go to the community calendar, and you're going to get to hear some music. Angela, what's the name of that group? And we're going to give
The
away.
Beachley and Scott Band.
And we're going to give away a hat. We're going to give away a hat if you can tell me how many years ago was Tammy Baker hollering for 26 hours? How many years ago did she give birth to Hannah Baker Towns? Call us at 866-939-2329 and you will win one of Barry's hats. And specify, do you want the
That's
man's
for
or the
my
woman's? There you go. There you
I
go.
probably wasn't here at that time.
We're going to take a break. We're going to go to the community calendar and give us long enough to set this beautiful lady up at the piano, and we're going to let her play a little music for you.
And then the others.
There you go. Wow.
I know,
That
that's
was amazing.
amazing.
And y'all didn't hear what she said to me. She said, I think I'll play one that I just heard on the radio one day. So she probably just heard it and sat down and played it. That is amazing. We told you this week would be about music. We started with some music. We've ended with some music. We're going to bring on a young man in a few minutes that you have heard many, many times. Barry Scott has been around this area for a long, long time. He started with a group in the 90s. And they did Southern gospel music as good as anybody anywhere. Barry is still out performing, and tomorrow night his group will be in Canton, Georgia. Now, Angela, I found this week, I want to share something with y'all in a few minutes. I have been going through my aunt's stuff, and she was like me. She was a keeper. She kept everything. Yes. And I keep a lot of verses and a lot of poems and things that people have shared with me. And I want to send this hug from heaven out to some of my friends today who might need a hug from heaven. I'm going to let Angela read this because it is one that will touch you. It will inspire you to remember that one day you will see your loved ones again.
And she needs glasses.
Yes. Here we go.
A hug from heaven. Don't be sad, I'm here with Jesus. Don't be sad and please don't cry. I'm right here. I've never left you. Don't you know that love can't die? I'm safe and warm and happy as I've never been before. Seeing Jesus face to face is more than I bargained for. As you speak, I'm right beside you. As you walk, I'm right by your side. Close your eyes and you'll see clearly that my spirit has not died. Everyone's on earth for reasons man can't fully comprehend, but in heaven I've seen clearly justice triumphs in the end. Understand my love surrounds you in a way you cannot see. Feel it, sense it, trust its presence, have some patience, let me be. Do not waste another moment. Give to God complete control of the worries that concern you and your heart and mind and soul. Wake each day in joyful gladness, knowing we're not far apart. Look to Jesus for the answers. He will heal your broken heart. But above all, please remember there's no need to cry. I'm right here. I never left you. Don't you know that love can't die?
I have read that hundreds of times when I needed a lift. And as I went through my aunt's things this week, I found all kinds of things that lifted me. I found my mother's funeral announcement. I found things that I just sat and related to, and it was a lot of fun to do that. And I want to share something that was in the cabinet that Aunt Lou's son gave me, and we're going to have to get Roger over to get a close-up. This, I got the cabinet back that my book was based on. My life started when my parents had a horrible, horrible fight. The part of my life that I really, really loved went away. Being family went away. Our parents ended up divorced. Things changed greatly. And if we can get Roger back over here, we need to show a close-up of this, because when you look back on your life, there will be good times, there will be bad times, there will be sad times, there will be happy times. But the whole thing is, it makes you who you are today. And my Aunt Louise was the strongest, hardest working person I ever knew in my life, and she was in my life every single day of my life. She actually paid the doctor bill when I was born. My mother wasn't married. I had nobody else for support, and my Aunt Louise paid $26 to Downey Memorial Hospital for my birth. And she was a big, big part of my life. And as I go through the end of her life, I've found poems, I've found books, I found writings. It has been a great journey, and I know that she's in heaven and she's watching after me. So we're going
And she moved from Florida back to Atlanta. She drove a little Beetle bug,
4-speed.
4-speed, with a cast on this arm and 3 kids in the car.
Her husband had beaten her up and broken her arm, and she chose to leave. And I said, she makes me a better me, because I want to honor women like her who have, you know, hit the bad holes in the road and just came out of it. And it is funny, because when I look back at her life, I think about the things that she did for others. I've been going through church books. I've been going through where she would take food to people who were sick. People would write her thank you notes. She was always there for somebody else.
She was very sweet.
Very special lady. And so today, I took her to a lot of gospel singings, and boy, I wish she was around this weekend for me to take her to some. We're going to take a break, and we're going to go back to the community calendar while we bring Barry Scott over to the piano, and we're going to let him play a little music for you. We told you his group would be here. We didn't lie to you. His group couldn't be here today, but we're hoping in the near future they will be. They got hung up in Maryland or somewhere up there where people don't drink sweet tea. So anyway, you're going to get a little Barry Scott in just a second. We're going to go back to the community calendar. We're going to set it up and have Barry do a song for you. Then we're going to talk a little bit about where he's going to be performing this weekend, and we're going to give you a lot of events to attend. This weekend is going to be busy, busy, busy. We'll be back in just a second.
It seems like only yesterday, when I was but a boy, I'd sit and watch him whittle, how it filled my heart with joy. And when he'd finished with his work and start out on his way, I'd hand him his old walking cane, and this is what he'd say. He'd say, son, the Bible's just like this old walking cane. It guides me down life's pathway when I call upon his name. It helps me to stumble, picks me up whenever I fall. But it keeps me in the straight way most of all. Still recall when in my life I've stumbled and I begin to fall. But in those times it seemed that I could hear my grandpa say, "Son, here's your grandpa's walking cane. It won't lead you astray." Say, "Son, the Bible's just like this old walking cane. It guides me down life's pathway when I call upon His name. It helps me not to stumble, picks me up whenever I fall. But it keeps me in the straight way most of all. 'Cause narrow's the way to heaven that leads to the pearly gates. And if I could see my grandpa now, I believe I'd hear him say, he'd say, "Son, the Bible was just like my old walking cane. It led me down life's pathway when I called upon His name. It helped me not to stumble and picked me up whenever I'd fall. But it kept me in the straight way most of all. It helped me not to stumble and picked me up whenever I'd fall. But now I'm safe in the arms of Jesus, and it's been worth it after all. That's a song there I wrote about my grandfather, Mr. Enos Spivey, who's been passed away now about 30 years, and I'll send that out to my mom and dad at home listening today. And right now I'll do one more song for you, and I think this one's Cherie Martin's favorite, one of her favorite gospel songs here, and I'll see if I can do it justice. One called "We Shall Inherit." There's a beautiful city just beyond the starry sky. We shall inherit it some glad day. There with Christ we'll ever be for all eternity. We shall inherit it some glad day. We'll walk on streets of gold, down heaven's avenue, talk with James and John. All things will be new. We'll shake the Master's hand. Oh, won't it be grand? We shall inherit it some glad day. One day soon we shall return and we'll behold His face. We shall inherit it some glad day. He'll show me to my mansion that He said He would prepare. We shall inherit it some glad day. We'll walk on streets of gold, some glad day. Yes, we shall inherit it some glad day.
We're back. You've been enjoying good music this week. We've had some really good music. We had to end this week with Barry Scott because, you know, he is Grammy Award nominated. He is, in my opinion, We Shall Inherit should have been the Song of the Year. Now, I don't know who the idiots were who voted, but it should have been Song of the Year. Angela, can you do, we've got a lot of birthdays.
Yes, we do. From Granny Ball and Ball House in Blue Ridge, Kimberly Ball, March 25th, 19 years young.
19.
Barbara King, she's a teacher at Blue Ridge Elementary, March 26th. Happy birthday, Barbara. Nan Snow, March 26th. Happy birthday to you. Courtney Pierce, March 26th, 18 years young, from Nana. Happy birthday. And Beauty West on March 27th. Happy birthday.
And I have some very special birthdays, and one of them, she's over 40, and that's all we're going to say.
We
She
love
may be
her.
she
We
may be
love
over
her.
44, and that's all we're going to say.
Yes.
She may be approaching 45, and that's all we're going to say. But we love Kathy Mullins. It is her happy birthday, and
Yes.
a very special lady who runs Lawson Chevrolet. I know Dub's name's on it, and I know Al sitting over there, but everybody knows that Ann Lawson Duncan runs Lawson Chevrolet. So if you really want to know the answer to the question, do you want to talk to the man in charge or the woman who knows what's going on? Call Ann Lawson Duncan. Happy birthday to her. And once again, a very happy birthday to Miss Hannah Baker Towns, who turns the big 27 this year. Happy birthday. And Peggy Sue Wright, I'm going to throw out a little trivia. She's a sister of a very famous woman, and she writes some of the songs that this very famous woman sings. If you can tell me, today is her birthday, Miss Peggy Sue Wright. If you can tell me who is her famous sister, you will win a hat. Barry, tell me the name of your group.
The Beachley and Scott Band.
Okay, Beachley is your partner.
That's Darren. It's
Darren?
Beachley from,
And Darren was going to be here today with the rest of the guys, but Maryland is calling, and they are stuck up there, and will be here tonight for a performance in Chattanooga.
Yes. Yep, they're on their way now
You
as we
hoping?
speak, I guess. Yes, I hope so.
And where will you be performing tonight?
It's at called Mike's Music. It's actually in Flintstone, Georgia. I never knew there was a
Okay.
Flintstone,
I
Georgia.
do. I know where it is.
Next
We've
to
made
Bedrock?
a delivery there. Yes, yes.
But that's where we're playing at. I've never been there, but it's called Mike's Music.
Okay,
And we're playing there at 7 o'clock tonight.
okay. And tomorrow night you will be in Canton, Cherokee County.
Arts Center at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We tried to do this back in January, and then we had the snow, and so we had to cancel. So we rescheduled, and hope the weather's going to be, from what the forecast says, it's going to be nice, or pretty nice for Saturday. But and we've had it on the radio and had a pretty good advertising out.
And Sunday night you're going to be where?
We are in Maryville, Tennessee, at Springview Baptist Church.
Okay.
I've been there a couple of times. It's a really good church.
And Maryville is on the way to Pigeon Forge, so it's
It
not
is.
too far. Couple hours,
hours
is that
from here.
right? Yep, yep.
So you got a busy 3 days coming.
Yeah, which is good because the last 2 weekends have not been,
Oh,
not been
okay.
so busy. But like I was telling somebody earlier, everybody in this band, you know, I had 9 years with Dole. Darren had 4 years. Jason had 2 years with Dole. The other 2 guys have all played professionally. You know, everybody in the band has, there's 4 of us that's been Grammy nominated, you know, and 5 professional pickers, but we're still having to prove ourselves every
yeah.
weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like they know what you sounded like with Dole or what you sounded like with Rhonda Vincent or whoever, but
Right.
what does Beachley and Scott sound like?
Right.
So, and that's kind of frustrating sometimes, you know, because
Because do you go to the door and go, for goodness sake, I'm Barry Scott. I am Barry Scott. And then they're
No,
like, who cares?
I feel like about
and you're
that big when you say
you're
that.
Floyd's boy. Now
Yeah.
tell me a little story about Floyd.
Okay, this is mostly true. It didn't happen exactly like this, but you mentioned being Grammy nominated. That's very humbling when somebody says that because I don't feel like anything I had anything to do with should be nominated for a Grammy, but thank God that it was. But when almost 2 years ago, Jason Leake, who's now in the band with me, he was a founding member of Second Wind. I remember being in the bed about 6:30 in the morning. He texted me and said, "Guess what, dude? We're nominated for a Grammy!" Exclamation point! And I just texted him back. I said, "Jason, you know, why did you wake me up or to tell me that?" You know, I said, "I know that's not true." And he texted me back and said, "Dude,
It is
it's
true."
true. It's just get on the internet. It's on there." So I got up and I checked it out. Sure enough, we were. So, I mean, I was just on cloud nine. You know, our CD was nominated for a Grammy. So I get in the car, you know, I'm driving from Canton, Georgia, and I thought, I cannot wait to get there and tell Mom and Dad. So I go driving up there, go in the house, and my dad's standing there drinking his coffee like he usually does every morning. And I said, Daddy, I said, guess what? I said, we were just nominated for a Grammy. And, of course, my dad knows that the Grammys are on the West Coast in California. So before he said congratulations or anything, I said, Daddy, guess what? We're nominated for a Grammy. He goes, will you be sure you get on that Price is Right, son? Meet that Drew Carey
like your
or
daddy.
Pat Sajak. And I said, Dad, we're nominated for a Grammy. Yeah, that's good, son. You be sure you get on that Price is Right.
That was it.
And then we go out there, and time didn't permit us to stay to get to go. I mean, we had actually talked about going to the Price is Right. Didn't get to go. I did get to meet Queen Latifah. I think we talked about that before.
I love her. I love her. Love her.
Met her in
She lives in Atlanta now.
Does she?
Love
Yes,
her.
She wasn't, not to burst anybody's bubble, but I guess I
Not
caught her.
very
She was
friendly?
not friendly at that moment,
No.
or not. I think caught her off guard. She was
I've
standing.
heard that. Yeah.
She was standing in line in the lobby to get something to eat, and I think she was just wanting to get her food, get back to her seat. But she was nice enough to take a quick picture. But anyway, got to meet her. I met one of the Kardashians, and who else did I meet?
Did she know
Tia
who
Carrera.
you were? She had no
Lord.
idea
Who?
who you were. Queen Latifah.
Lord, no.
Okay, all right.
She-
Because see,
everybody-
that might have been cool if she'd have looked at you and said, "You're Mary Scott."
Let me finish this story here, and then there's something that goes along with that you said though. But we didn't get to go to Price is Right, and Jason Crabb won the Grammy. You know, and he won the Grammy.
Sorry,
But so we was kind of bummed out. You know, I didn't think we'd win, but we got nominated, and then I was upset too because I didn't get to go to the Price is Right and do what Dad wanted me to do. So we came home, and like 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in the living room and watching Price is Right, and it's about 11:45, and they come back from a commercial break, and Drew Carey goes, you know, every day when I come out here to do this show, you never know who's going to be sitting in the audience, but we have a Grammy winner. Jason Crabb, would you please stand up?
And you about
I was so mad. I mean, I pulled my shoe off and like threw it at the TV. He got to meet Drew Carey. But anyway, get back to what you said there about did she recognize me? We were standing in the lobby, and here's food for thought, no pun intended, but if you ever go to the Grammys and you're in the lobby, that's where they've got a McDonald's in there. Don't buy anything from there because a Happy Meal will cost you like $10. I mean, it's so expensive out there, but we were so hungry. We sucked it up. We all bought something to eat, and my band is standing there in the lobby. There's hundreds of people standing there, and me and the banjo player, he was right across from me, and we were standing there eating our food, and there was a couple girls standing over behind me, and young girls, and Zane, our banjo picker, said, he said, Barry, he goes, those two girls think you're Gary LeVox with Rascal Flatts.
Oh, how
Of course,
funny.
I had my Western shirt. My hair was spiked up and blonder than it is now. And I said, do what? He said, no, they think you're Gary LeVox. And I said, no, they don't. He said, they're talking about it. He goes, just pretend like you are. Let's just do it. And I said, I can't do that to him. Oh, come on, just do it. It'll be fun. So I did. I got my cell phone out, and I started pretending like I was calling Joe Don, one of the other guys backstage, like, where you guys at? We're getting ready to go on. And so I'm talking it up. Well, just a few seconds later, I hung up. One of the girls tapped me on the shoulder, and she says, can I get my picture made with you? And I said, yeah. I said, you sure can. I said, but I hate to burst your bubble, but I said, I'm not the guy the person you think I am. She said, you're not that guy from Rascal Flatts? I said, no. I said, I'm sorry. She said, well, who are you? I said, well, my name's Barry Scott. I have a band called, Second Wind. We're nominated for a Grammy. She said, well, can I get my picture made anyway? So I was feeling good about it, She still wanted my picture, so we took it, and I was feeling good. When she walks away, well, then I get to thinking about it. I thought, now, wait a minute. She's going to go tell all her friends she got her picture made with the guy from Rascal Flatts. So, but everywhere I go, I don't see it, but everywhere I go, somebody, I could be at church singing, and as soon as I get up there, I can see somebody's mouth go, he looks like that guy from Rascal Flatts. And he's not too pretty of a guy if you've ever seen Gary LeVox. He can sing, but I said, I don't want to look like that guy. But I told my dad, I said, I wonder if anybody ever goes to Gary and go, hey, you look like that guy, Barry Scott, with Second Wind.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
let's
anyway.
talk about the new group a little bit.
Okay, Darren Beachley, he did not get snowed in. What happened up there was, as cars break down, his car broke down, and he was supposed to get it out of the shop, or hoping it was coming out yesterday. And I talked to him today. It was still up, or was supposed to come out Wednesday, and it was still up on the rack yesterday. He didn't get it out till this morning. So was not able to get down here. But he was the guy that took my place with Doyle when I left Doyle in 2005.
Okay, stop right there. We're going to ask a trivia question. There was a song that year that is about digging. If you can tell me about this
And it's
song.
not on that CD.
It's not on this CD, but we're going to give you this CD. This is some great, great music. This was a DVD that was shot hours and hours and hours and hours of labor, and they were digging. If you can tell me the name of the song. Do you know how I know the name of that song? I would walk in every day. My child would be sitting in front of the computer trying to learn to play that song on the mandolin. Barry, that song was right at the absolute height of your career. You were doing great, great, great. You walked away from that. What in the world were you thinking?
Actually, it was a few years before I actually walked away from it. But there's actually another song called that same title, that country song. But another guy, the story
It has a frog in it. That's our
story about
hint.
that song was when we were rehearsing with Doyle, we were just, when we're getting ready to do a new CD or an album, we'll go through like 100 songs. I mean, of just and trying to pick the 12 best songs that everybody likes. And this song, that song that I'm not going to say, we were rehearsing it, and Jamie Daly, that was in the band at the time, he was the one that brought it to the group, and a friend of his had wrote, there was only a chorus and one verse, which was the last verse. And so we kind of started singing it and harmonizing with it, and we kind of went on to the next song, and that stuck in my mind. I thought, that's a catchy song. I said, it needs another verse or two. So I went back, we went back to the bus last night, or the bus where we stayed after rehearsal, and I sit down and wrote the first verse and the second verse. And Doyle had no idea I was doing this. I came back to practice the next day, and I said, Doyle, remember that song we were doing? I said, I wrote a couple more verses to it. So let's see what it sounds like. So I sung it to him, and he said, okay, yeah, I like it. Let's do it. And so I didn't know, had any idea it was going to be the title of the CD, or it was going to be a CMT or
It
GAC
was
video.
the big deal.
So, but anyway, it was another guy from Nashville wrote the other, the verse, one of the verses in the chorus, and it was nominated for Song of the Year. We actually had two songs off that CD that was nominated that year for Song of the Year. That song and another song that I co-wrote called Heartbreak Number 9 on that same CD. Neither one of them won, thanks to a guy named Harley Allen, who's a great songwriter in Nashville that wrote a song for the Grascals that won that year. But there again, just being nominated for a Grammy, just being nominated, having your song nominated is kind of like an award in itself,
It
you
is.
know, in that
It
respect.
is. Out of
But
all the
anyway,
songs.
but that's a little bit about that song.
Okay, and the song, I don't know if we've had a winner or not, but if you watch the DVD, it is a very entertaining, very cute DVD. You told me the story about how long it took to shoot that, and how long they dug
Hours.
the dirt, and how
Yep.
many hours you were doing that. To produce an award-winning DVD, it is not a go out there, take a camera, and do an hour or so, is it?
Well, like I said, all that was new to me. I'd never done anything like I've been here like with you, but to be out there actually on a set with a producer and a director and all that kind of stuff that does those kind of videos, concept videos, it was fun, but it was a lot of hours, and it was 100 degrees outside. I remember Doyle, his forehead got sunburned really bad that day. We were joking about that, but we were out
Dig a
there.
little
We
deeper.
were out there in that hole for. It started out, like I said, as we was like a foot down, and then they dug like another foot down until we got down to the bottom, and then they started filling it back up. So it would give the effect that we were actually going deeper than back up. I'm giving away hints here.
No,
But,
we had somebody calling. If you have
Okay.
not watched this video, I suggest you go to YouTube and watch it. It's called Dig a Little Deeper. And I knew the history of it began with that one little verse, and then you finished it out.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it was such a catchy thing. That's what Nicholas learned to play the mandolin.
Really?
Watch it. Yeah,
That's awesome.
he just sit there and pick and listen to that. Now, that song, award-winning, award-nominated, you walked away. You kept walking away. You've walked into now what you think is going to be the ideal group.
Well, I hope so. I mean, you know, I've got a song on that last CD of the title, In God's Time. And I tell this every time I get up in church or somewhere that, you know, I've made a lot of decisions based on what Barry Scott wanted to do.
Right.
And I've always ended up failing. And, you know, here in the last couple years, I've tried to, you know, leave it in God's hands, and you know, and it always usually well, I say usually it does. It works out in his time. You know, it may not be my time frame, but it works out the right way. And but I did 9 years with Dole, and it was a really good thing for me. I stayed longer than anybody that had ever had in his band, and you know, got my name out there as a vocalist and a musician and a songwriter. And I just, you know, there comes a time when you say, okay, this is it.
This is it.
And you know, and I just felt like that's what God wanted me to do. I really didn't have plans of starting a band when I left. I kidded Dole the day I told him I was leaving. One of Dole's hit songs that's been through the years is one called Julianne, Come On Home.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like usually the last song you'll close out a show with. And I stood back there in the back of the bus, and I said, Dole, I'm going to have to hang it up. And he said, all right, son. And anyway, he called everybody son. And I said 9 years of singing Julianne's long enough. And he just laughed. But anyway, I didn't know I was going to start Second Wind, but like I said, it worked out that way within the first year after I left. And then we had a good thing going with those guys. We were not anywhere to where like I was with Dole status,
Right.
but we were, you know, working toward that point. And then had the one CD that was Grammy nominated. And then, you know, as bands changed, 3 or 4 of the guys, you know, up and decided, hey, I want to start my own band.
Right.
As they do, and they left. And then I had Mountain Faith that was here, the young kids that was here with me playing back a few months ago. They did a good job filling in for me. And then in December, Darren Beachley calls me, and like I mentioned earlier, he was the one that took my place when I left Dole. And he called me, and he had a band. He left Dole in 2009 and had a band called Legends of the Potomac, which was him and some older guys that have been playing professionally for years. And he had a pretty good thing going, but he was going through a band change at the same time I was.
Right.
And then he called me and said, hey, you know, you
Seemed
and I
to
have always
work.
talked about wanting to sing together, so
Here
you want
go.
to do it.
Here you go.
So, and like I said, we're still trying to, you know, prove ourselves. It's me and Darren Beachley, and it's our band, but we've got 3 other guys in the band. Jason Leake, who's a big part of it, vocally and instrumentally, sings about any part we need him to. He's from Bristol, Tennessee. He plays archtop guitar. Tim Laughlin is the mandolin player, and he also plays fiddle some. He was the one that a lot of people don't know Tim, but he, when I was with Dole back in 2003, Dole had bypass surgery, and he was out for a couple months. Well, Tim was the first guy that Dole called to say, will you come take my place?
Right.
So which
That's a pretty big honor.
speaks a lot for his
Yeah.
kind of picking. So Tim's playing the mandolin and sings some harmony, and then a guy named Shane Bartley from Georgetown, Kentucky, plays banjo and sings bass, like in the a cappella stuff. And but anyway, there's 5 of us, and we've are in the studio now working on a new CD that'll be out later in the summer. We're about halfway done on it.
Okay. Tell me now, tomorrow night, we
Yep.
want to tell folks how to get to the Cherokee, to
Art
the
Center?
Art Center.
Okay.
Yeah, tell folks where it is.
It is in Canton, Georgia. If you're familiar with from here, I mean, it's 575 or 515 south. But you can go different ways, but the easiest way for me is to get off on exit 19. I don't know if you guys would go that way, but you get off on exit 19 and turn right. And then the road kind of winds around it's in downtown Canton. That's a one-way street for people that's been in Canton, but it's behind the Cherokee Justice Center.
Okay.
And it's actually an old, have you been there before?
I have not been there, no.
Are you going to be there?
I'm trying to figure out how to be in 5 places at 2 times.
It's
I don't know yet, Barry.
it's-
I'm not going to make a commitment. I've already
Okay.
made a commitment to be in Ducktown.
All right.
I don't know how I'm going to do all this. I
It's,
don't know.
It's an old Methodist church from years ago,
Okay.
and they've turned it into.
I do know where it is,
It's
yes.
it's
You
a
just
red.
answered my
it's
question,
a red
yes.
brick building.
Beautiful, beautiful old
It is.
building,
It's
yes.
been restored.
Okay.
It kind of reminds you of
I know where it is.
the Ryman Auditorium
Yes,
inside.
yes,
Got the
beautiful
old
place.
church pews and a balcony. It's a neat little. It holds about 300 people.
Okay.
I played there with my band Second Wind 2 years ago. Then I played there with Dole a couple times.
Okay.
But
So we
that's where
hope
it's
to
at.
fill it up
7
tomorrow
o'clock.
night. Now let me tell you the events. I got to get this out. Ducktown tomorrow, MS, raising money for MS. My grandfather was stricken with MS. It is a big, big part of my heart. I've always wanted to help with that. I got to go to Ducktown somehow. I got to do this. Antioch Baptist Church, Greater Vision, will be in concert tomorrow night. Got to figure out how to do that. I want to go with Barry. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I really don't. I've got 2 more places I really need to be. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try to figure out a little of some of this, some of that.
I bet Greater Vision won't sing "We Shall Inherit."
No, they won't, and I bet you will. And I bet if you don't, you'll wish you had. I want to show a photo because this young lady is very, very responsible for musicians becoming hit artist. Okay, this is Jenny Mack from WLJA, and if you can identify the two men with her, call me at 866-939-2329, and you will win a Craig Reynolds CD and t-shirt. Now, he is going to be tomorrow night at the MS event at 6:30 in Ducktown, and there is a rain date, and I'm going to give you a phone number for anybody who's interested. You can call Doug, who's the assistant mayor up in Ducktown, at 423-241-0158. There is a rain date for this because it is an outdoor event. There's an 80% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow evening. If it does rain, because there's a car show involved, there's music involved. Our friend Jimmy Allen will be there doing his original song that they did for Julie. If it rains, there's a rain date of April the 2nd. For more information, you can call Doug at 423-241-0158. If you have more birthdays, you need to call them in right now because we're about to let Barry Scott draw. And I want to say a big congratulations to my son-in-law, Lonnie. This is Ken Freeman, who is the Bass Pro Shop promoter. Last week, Lonnie went to Virginia. He took all bragging rights. He won the whole event. He won a whole lot of money. It was so cool. He had to split it with his crew, but man, just to do what he did. And I want to say congratulations to him. As he starts the Bass Pro Shop circuit, many of you fishermen just, you know, you love doing that. This boy breathes, eats, drinks, everything is about fishing. So the circuit has started, Bass Pro Shops. Thank you very much for doing what you do for our community because you've brought a lot of fishermen to the higher ranks.
And you have a birthday this weekend.
You do.
Not my personal,
Cassie
but
Scott.
mine is coming up. I don't even want to tell
Scott, yeah.
how old I'm going to be.
Cassie Scott will
yeah,
be 14.
She'll be 14. And
God help you, Daddy.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
yes, yeah, she'll be 14.
14 going on 30. Now, we've got to give away all this stuff today because I promised y'all we would. Okay, we've got the T-shirt and hat for the last question. Okay, let's hold on to that. Now, if I were out and about up in the North Market, tell me where, and these are autographed by Craig Reynolds, tell me where I would eat lunch tomorrow if I was up in the North Market. I bet you y'all can tell me. And I want to show you.
They have homemade taters?
They have real cream taters. That's exactly right. Call us at 866-939-2329. And I want to share my photo of Hans Rufert and I again. And I want to tell you, please, if you have lunch at the place that Hans' family has owned for years and years, and you can tell me the name of it, call us at 866-939-2329, and you also will win a CD by Craig Reynolds. So there you go. This is Hans and I at an event for ETC up in Copper Basin. There you go. Please pray for this young man. Please pray that his health begins to turn around. Barry, hand me those things. Now, I was going to give this book to a little boy who already had it. So we're going to give it away. If you have a child who would like to have this little book, the little engine that could, let's ask a children's question.
I know we're driving them crazy in the booth.
What is the name of a program that aired many, many years ago, and her first name was the same as mine, Nancy. Ooh, I can't believe I told people that. That's my first name. If she had a mirror, and moms and dads, you ought to remember this because she would say, "Mirror, mirror, tell me today, have all my friends come out to play?" Do you remember that?
I have no clue what
Do you
you're
remember
talking
that?
about.
And she would look in the mirror and she would see all of y'all at home. And I remember that. And the kids' moms and dads would write in and give their names. And then when she would say their name, the kids would be like, "Mama, how did she know I was watching?" So sneaky, sneaky parents we are.
I'm clueless.
I guess
you
I
do-
was busy watching Kangaroo Cafaroo then.
Yes, she was. Can you do some birthdays?
Ruth Bryant from your sister Ruby, March 27th, 79 years young. Happy birthday, Ruth, which happens to be my granny's name and my daughter's middle name.
That's right.
Cassie Scott, March 26th, 14 years old, from your grandma.
There you go. There you go. And we encourage you, get out in this community this weekend. Remember, Antioch Baptist Church, Greater Vision, Cherokee Arts Center, Barry Scott, and the new group is Beachley Scott.
Beachley Scott Band.
Beachley Scott Band.
.com.
Check them out. And if you would like to have them come to your church and play, sing, pick, grin, whatever you'd like for them to do, Barry, how do they get in touch with you?
The website, the BeachleyandScottBand.com. They can, email us there. We're on Facebook or Mine and Darren's, both our cell phone numbers are on the website. They can
Okay.
contact us that way.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
And if you
we're
know
open
his
for
mom
bookings.
and dad, tell them they did a pretty good job teaching this young man to sing just a tune or two. We have another CD we're going to give away too. Have we gotten winners on everything yet, y'all? I said I'm cleaning this desk off. Praise the Lord. I'm getting this desk cleaned off. Yeah. Jeffrey Coker, Ball Ground. Marsha Gonzalez in Ducktown. Larry Fox in LJ. Sandra Kennedy in Jasper. And Shirley Durham in Blue Ridge. And Sue Taylor in Blue Ridge. I think we've covered just about everything we needed to do today. Wow. Okay, we have one more thing we're going to give away. We have an ETC3 thermometer. And I can tell you, if we make it to Ducktown and they don't cancel the event, I'll have some of these to hand out tomorrow. ETC thermometer. If you can call and tell us, what is the percentage of rain possibility tomorrow? They've been talking about it on the weather, and I'm a little bit concerned because they also said stormy weather possibly. I said it just a minute ago. Surely y'all were paying attention. You know, this has been an amazing week. I spent a lot of time going through my aunt's stuff. I spent a lot of time looking back at my life. And one day, when y'all get to read the whole thing, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to smile, you're going to say, wow, she's tougher than I thought. You're going to say she's softer than I thought. You will get to know a little bit more about me. It is an honor to come to your homes every single day. Sometimes y'all second guess my moods. Sometimes you don't quite figure it out. There are days that I don't know how I'm going to possibly make it, and there are days that you inspire me to make it. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. There are better days ahead. There are better days ahead for all of us. 2011 is our year of recovery. It has been a very, very tough time. Many of you have found jobs now. Congratulations for that. There are some companies who are booming busy, which is a positive sign. If you're looking for a small car, I'm gonna give you some advice. Look to Chevrolet, look to Ford. They both have some good small cars. We went and looked at a Ford Focus and a Chevrolet Cruze. I believe that's what it is. You know, buy American, buy local. Do what you can to support our local businesses. From Lawson Chevrolet to Ronnie Thompson to North Georgia Ford, they all support us. It is very important that we keep them working so they keep us in the loop, because we need to be in your homes, and it's a big part of it to be our sponsors. So if you would like to be a sponsor, contact ETC3. They have a great marketing department. Get in touch with them. Don't forget, our friend Rich Scott comes on every single day, Monday through Friday. He is selling that stuff. He is selling so much stuff. He's a small business owner up in the Copper Basin. He has a cabin business, so it's kind of like everybody's doing whatever they have to survive. A couple of jobs here, a couple of jobs there. But it is a great place to be. Real estate is beginning to come back. Thank you, Lord. So many people have suffered through this. Real estate is going to turn around. Building is beginning to start again. Just stay positive, stay focused, and know that we can accomplish what we've set out to do. And it is truly enjoying the life that God's given us.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Ready for this weekend?
Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
my boy won 2 races last weekend.
He did. I knew she
Eat crow,
did.
everybody. And I want to say good day to Miss Maggie, Miss Jan, and Miss Lupe at Jasper Banking Company.
We
Those
love them.
ladies, they spoil me, and I won't tell y'all how they spoil me because I get special benefits when I
Yeah,
go there.
sometimes they
But
have little treats.
They
They're so
give me
good.
treats. I love you ladies, and
Thank
you're so
you.
special, and
Yeah.
have a great weekend.
Okay, and the birthday cake today is, we've got to draw real quick, Ange. It is from the Dairy Queen in Jasper, and it is where they make a Sherry Martin Blizzard.
For
There you
real?
go. Okay, Barry, draw us out a name.
All right. There you go.
Okie dokie. The winner is Tammy Collins of Jasper, Georgia. Happy
Tammy.
birthday, Miss Tammy. There you go. You know, coming into your homes is so much fun. Thank you for being a big part of my life. I hope to see you out this weekend. I will be out and about. Breck will be driving, and I'll be keeping up with the mileage. It's going to be a fun weekend. Please find something to do with your family. Lois Chastain, love you so much. Thank you for the messages. Thank you to Miss Bessie up in Blue Ridge. We've got a special photo we're sending you. From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Cherie.
I am Piper Elizabeth Banks, and we don't like to say goodbye, so we'll say see you later.
This is Angela. Angela. And Elizabeth Taylor, Gone But Not Forgotten. Gone But Not Forgotten. We'll see you again only on ETC3.
When the weight grows heavy on my shoulders, I reach out for God's guiding